20-123, 20-139, 20-150, and also 20-179 by Governor DeSantis. For the record, we have audience members present. They will be muted until we get to the audience comments section, where I'll unmute you one at a time, and you'll have an opportunity of 3 minutes to address the board on any agenda items. So at this time, I'd like to call to order the Board of Supervisors meeting. The current time is approximately 11:05. Present and constituting a quorum, we have Paul Bishop, Milton Andrade, John Blakely. We have Lynn Hayes, representing District Management. We have Greg Gruhl and Kelly Klukowski on the line, representing Amenity Services. I don't believe anyone else has joined us. We have another person, Joy, coming on the line. So at this time, I would like to open it up for audience comments, any agenda items. I will, again, select you one at a time. If I can't unmute you, that means that you've muted yourself somehow. So by all means, give me an opportunity to unmute you, and you'll have an opportunity to speak to the board. So we're going to start with Gibby, if I may. Gibby, good morning. Can you hear me? Gibby?
Yes, sir.
All right, yes, sir. Could you, do you have anything that you would like to address the board or have a question for the board on any agenda item this morning?
At this time, no.
Okay, thank you, sir. At this time, I'd like to note that Greg Cox, District Manager with Rosetta, has also joined the call. We're going to move into Elizabeth Kist. Ms. Kist, do you have anything you'd like to address with the board at this time?
I do not, thank you.
Thank you. All right. Lopez family. Can you hear me, Lopez family?
Yeah.
Do you have anything you'd like to address the board on regards to the agenda items today?
No, not right now.
All right, thank you. Next, we'll move to Geraldo Vargas. Mr. Vargas, do you have anything you have a comment for the board on any agenda item this morning?
Hi, good morning. I wanna know when it's gonna open the amenities of the community.
Okay. We'll get to addressing that in a short time, sir.
Okay.
Shh, I'm on a meeting.
Mr. Hernandez.
Yes, currently at this time, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Nelson. Good morning. Mr. Nelson.
Good morning.
Do you have any comment you'd like to share with the board at this time?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you, sir. All right, so we'll move to Rebecca. Rebecca?
No, not at this time.
Alejandro, did I let me unmute you. Did you have a question for the board at this time?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Okay. Here's that I have addressed everyone so far. It looks like someone else new has joined us on the call. Phone number ending in 7581. Could you please identify yourself for the board?
Garrett Parkinson. Sorry I'm late.
No problem, Mr. Parkinson.
Hey, buddy.
All right. I think I've had the opportunity to ask everyone that's on the call for any questions or comments they have for the board. So at this time, I'd like to turn your attention to tab 1. This is consideration of a professional amenity services contract. And we have Greg Rule on the line. I'm going to unmute him. And he's going to share a little information with you regarding this contract. Good morning, Greg. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I want to thank you for requesting a proposal for our service of pool monitor. Basically, it's just as it sounds. This person would keep your pool area clean and straightened up, and would interact with your residents, monitor, making sure that the people coming in our residence would be enforcing rules and regulations of the facility, empty the trash, and just generally keep things neat and clean around the pool and making sure the rules are being followed. You have in front of you, or you got previously, 2 different proposals actually, one from July 1st, which when we first presented it, to September the 30th. During that time, you did postpone till this meeting, a decision on that one. And then we have one extending the service from October 1st into September 30th of 2021. So looking at either proposal, you'll see 2 different lines. You'll see the budgeted personnel total, which basically is the hourly rate of the employee, of the staffer, with all the burden in there, all the taxes, workman's comp, payroll tax, payroll processing fee included in that total. Then you have the general management oversight fee, the monthly fee on line 2. Now, one important item is that, let's say, for example, the contract calls for 29 hours a week, but let's say you have a rainy day or the person's sick or they're not working, you are not billed for anything that they're not working for. So any hours they don't work, you're not billed for. And so, again, with each proposal, you have a total. The operating deposit is basically the payroll deposit, which is 1 month's pay in advance. Any questions?
Board members, is there any questions?
Have we set the hours that we want monitoring?
No, sir. I would look for a recommendation. I mean, the contract would call for 29 hours. I would look for a recommendation by the board to open the pool and at what hours that you'd like to staff it based on those 29 hours. If you desire to accept and approve this amenity services contract.
Is that all basically what we need to do to get this place open? Okay.
Sure.
Is this a requirement that we need this pool staffed? I mean, I've got other amenities, other CDDs that are not staffed. So I'm just a little confused as to exactly why this is needed, to be honest with you. This is Milton.
Okay.
I know Milton, over and a couple of others, we've had a lot of problems. And I really think that if we don't have someone out there, we may get some people coming across the street over there.
Yeah, I mean,
is this something that can't be resolved by having, in my other CDDs, we just have key cards that we hand out so that only residents can use the amenities.
Yeah, we've had.
And it's worked quite well in my other amenities.
Yeah, we had the same thing over at Zephyr Ridge, and we ended up putting someone there because what they'll do is someone will come in and they'll just put a piece of cardboard there, and then the gate just stays open for a free for all.
Yeah, I mean, in this time, you know, it would be nice to believe that we could self-distance, you know, social distance. We could follow the guidelines that are recommended by the CDC and Governor DeSantis' executive orders. I haven't found that that's been very successful in other districts, just for that factor.
Yeah, we've got that in the budget, right? We've budgeted everything for this, right?
Yes, sir.
We do have this in the budget, we're certain.
I'll pull it. We can pull up your budget. Pull it right on the screen, and we'll look at that together.
Because the pool's not open yet, correct?
No, sir.
Could we, I mean, I'd be more of the opinion of at least opening maybe for like 30 to 60 days and kind of go through it initially to see if we have any issues. And if we do, then I would be more than willing to execute this if it's needed. But if we don't have any issues initially, you know, I don't think this is truly necessary.
Okay. Board members, other board members, any comments?
When are we expecting the pool to open?
Well, you know, at this time, most districts are, you know, only opening with staff hours, meaning that they have an employee there that's actually ensuring that they're following social distancing guidelines. I'm not sure whose dog's in the background, but you could please.
I'll mute it. That's my dog.
Thank you, sir. Okay. So what I'm finding is other communities have not opened their pools, or if they've opened, it's on a limited amount of hours, and it's based on only when there's staff hours or people there to attend to the pool. Back to your question, to answer your question for budget 2021, yes, you do have this in the budget for an amenity services contract.
Is the pool ready to be opened? In other words, is everything done? We have CO. In other words, it's passed all the inspections.
Yeah, that's my understanding. Everything is ready to go. It's just a matter of what would you desire as a board? You know, adding this amenity management contract would certainly help expedite that process.
So this is Garrett Parkinson. I'm actually agreeing with Milton. I'd like to see what happens and give it like a 30 to 60 day grace period, see exactly what goes on. And then, you know, if we should need a pool attendant, then, you know, make a decision then.
Okay. So at this time, board members, I mean, would you care to make a motion to not approve this amenity services contract at this time, or and provide a continuance to the next meeting, so that at that time it could be rediscussed in your September meeting?
I mean, are we going to have anybody out there to pick up trash? If someone, I mean, we had at the other pool just around the corner at Zephyr Ridge, we had people leaving diapers there, breaking bottles, throwing the chairs into the pool. If this happens, we're not going to get anybody out there. So someone's going to have to go out there and clean this up, or we just close the pool down indefinitely.
I'll have gladly my home building crew clean that up for less than $35,000.
Okay. I'm just making sure, Mel, that, you know, this is something happening.
I'm trying to I get it. I'm just trying to, you know.
And we got it budgeted.
I get it. I'm trying to, you know, be considerate of this budget for these homeowners and making sure that this amenity opens up as they, you know, they've waited quite some time.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get this amenity open for them. So I'm going to second that motion.
And the motion on the table is to table it or do a continuance to the next meeting in September, on September 1.
Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
Why don't we approve the contract but not execute? In other words, let's agree to the terms of the agreement, but agree that we're not going to execute it right now until we go through this 30 or 60 day thing. That way we won't have to address the terms all over again. All we'll have to do is say we're ready to execute it.
Okay.
Hello?
So do I have a second to Mr. Blakely's motion of approving the professional amenity services contract with a start date to be determined?
That's fine. I'll second that. This is Milton. Again, this has to come before the board again to actually execute it, correct?
That's what we're stating. Yes, at this time, you're approving the amenity services contract with a start date to be determined.
Okay, that's fine. I'll second that.
Okay, so I had a first from John and seconded by Milton. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries.
Lynn, this is Tracy Robin. I want you to know I joined the meeting. I could not get access by telephone on the number that was on the agenda package.
Okay. Well, welcome to the meeting, Mr. Robin.
I apologize for being late. I was making my best efforts.
All right. All right. Well, we're at this time. I'd like to go to the next item on our agenda, and it's the presentation of the aquatics inspection report. You guys have all received that. There's no representative here from Solitude to discuss it. And so if there's no questions or comments regarding that, I'd like to move on to the next topic in tab 2. Board members?
Okay. That's fine.
Agreed?
Yes.
Agreed.
All right, so we're going to move into tab 2. Tab 2 is the consideration of the aquagenics. Consideration of the aquagenics agreement for pond maintenance. At the last meeting, this contract was brought before you, the proposal, and the board had unanimously approved this proposal. What we're showing today is the actual management agreement for that, from that proposal. As you know, at this point, the current aquatic systems company known as Solitude, we have sent them a 30-day termination notice in regards to the agreement that we currently had with them. And the last day of that termination notice will be August 28th. So what we're asking here, when you look at the aquatic management agreement, is we're looking to set a date to start aquagenics on August 28th of 2020. So board members, is there a motion to approve the aquagenics agreement for the pond maintenance to begin on the 28th of August?
I'll make that motion.
That's from Bob. And second?
Second, John Blakely.
John Blakely, okay.
Lynn, I'd like to ask the board amend that motion just slightly, and that is to adopt to approve the contract in substantial form. We don't have any feedback from the aquagenics people yet. They may sign it as we proposed it, but if there's changes to be made, I'd like the ability to have the general counsel and the chair to approve any changes. So if we could adopt it in substantial form, we'll achieve that.
So board members, we're looking to amend the motion to adopt the Aquagenis agreement for the pond maintenance program.
I'll make that motion.
All right, and seconded by?
John Blakely.
Thank you, John. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. Next, I'd like to turn your attention to tab 3 of the agenda. This is the discussion of upcoming elections. At this time, I'd like to, board members, this is a resolution 2020-13. It declares vacancies in seat 1 and 2 on the Board of Supervisors. And on November 3rd, an opportunity for 2 board members to be elected. At the close of the qualifying period, no one qualified to run for seat 1 and 2. So these seats are declared or administratively declared vacant as of November 17th. The incumbents in seats 1 and 2 certainly can remain on the board until the board has appointed new board members. Is there any questions regarding that? This resolution 2020-13.
Sorry, go ahead. This is Tracy. I'll comment afterwards.
Whose seats are they?
Seat 1, Mr. Blakely. In seat 2, Mr. Bishop.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Just for a little bit of further explanation, these are 2 seats that are going to transition to resident seats, qualified electors, as it will. And no one qualified during the qualification period. So by statute, as the existing seats expire, the board's required to appoint qualified electors who are residents of the district for these seats, because the transition, if you will, to resident control begins with this election season. So the incumbent will sit until the replacement can be found, and the statute requires that the board fill those seats within 90 days after the election.
Okay.
Board members, any further questions regarding resolution 2020-13?
Move to approve.
All right, move to approve by Mr. Blakely, seconded by?
I'll second.
By Bob. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we'll move into tab 4. Tab 4 is a resolution, resolution 2020-14, setting a date for the landowners election. This resolution requires the district to hold a meeting of landowners for the purpose of electing board supervisors for the district. This must occur at some point in November, but not necessarily on the general election date, which is the first Tuesday of November, which is November 3rd. Seat 3 is currently held by Milton Andrade and is subject to election by landowners in November. And so at this time, I would request a motion to designate setting a day, date, and time for this landowners election.
I'll make a motion.
My recommendation would be November 10th. Board members?
Is that the date of our November meeting?
No, sir.
Why wouldn't we do it on the date of the meeting?
Tracy, could you explain? I know it's different. It's not an actual Board of Supervisors meeting. It's actually
Right. This is not a meeting that needs to be attended by board members. There's no requirement for a quorum. Oftentimes, because the election takes some time to count the proxies and determine who who prevails in the vote, we don't hold those on the same day as the regular meeting. For the convenience of the landowner only needs to have somebody either deliver the proxies to Rosetta's office in advance or send somebody over for the meeting who can deliver the proxies and vote them at the same time. To the extent that there are residents who are going to sign proxies or come and vote personally, they have to be vetted, so to speak, to make sure that we understand which property owners are there, what properties they're voting for, that there's not 2 votes per lot, and things of that sort, and do the vote tally. So the 10th would seem to be a good date for that.
Tracy, this is Greg Cox, joining in just for a second. I know you and I spoke a little bit about this before the meeting. What would you think about the 17th being a date that coincides with the actual expiration date of the seat? 2 weeks after the general election would be the formal expiration date on the 17th. Would that make sense?
Greg, as we discussed, that's fine. I figured that for some reason the date was moved up to the 10th, so I don't have a problem with either one of those dates, but we need to do it by the 17th.
Yeah, because
if at all possible.
When the landowner election is held, the whoever's elected during that landowner election becomes effective that date, and so it would probably be a very neat timing to have it when the current seat holder expires and the landowner seat takes effect. So I think you could do it the 10th or the 17th, but the 17th would be good as well if you wanted to pick one of those dates.
I concur.
Board members, in setting a date and a day and a date for the landowner's election, we've heard we recommended the 10th of November and the 17th. I would look to for direction on what day that you would prefer.
Let's just do it the 17th.
From Bob?
Second.
Second from John. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, so I was requesting a motion to designate November 10th, 2020 as the setting a date for the landowner's election. Okay?
November 17th.
November 17th. As stated. Okay. So that's, and like I said, I made a motion. All in favor. There was no nays. So the motion carries. I'd like to move into tab 5. Tab 5 of our agenda. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to Tracy Robin, where we're going to discuss the consideration and acceptance of the bill of sale and special warranty deeds for the amenity center and the land improvements.
Good morning again, everybody. In talking with Chip Jones about the status of the amenity center, it's his expectation that it's going to be able to get this delivered to the district at some point in the near future. And when that occurs, we didn't want to have to wait for another meeting for the district to be able to take over the facilities. What's required here is for a conveyance by the SBE, and there's a bill of sale and a special warranty deed that's included, I believe, in your packet, along with the agenda. These are proposed forms. We also need to get an as-built survey of the property and have the district's engineer review, once they're completed, once the CO's been issued, confirm that the improvements have been built in accordance with the plans and the specifications, and that all of the completion-related requirements and construction-related requirements have been met. At which point the engineer will will issue a certificate of completion. Because a portion of these facilities were paid for with bond funds, we need to follow the protocol, which is very similar to what I just outlined in the bond indenture. So what we wanted to do was tee this up such that if the board approved the bill of sale and the warranty deed in substantial form, that your staff would be authorized to go ahead and accept them for recording as soon as they're available, and the district can then take over the maintenance of the amenity center in order to get it open for the residents as quickly as possible.
Okay. I just want to make sure that since we didn't start that contract, is there still going to be like pool maintenance and everything going on as soon as we take this over?
Yeah, and I had conversation with Chip as well, and he has someone that's going to be caring for the pool. Again, based on getting the bill of sale and everything approved, he's still continuing maintenance on the pool, but he's looking for that to get turned over as well.
No, I know. When we take over the pool, since we didn't elect that contract at the beginning, are we still going to have pool, someone out there cleaning the pool and stuff like that? Is that all separate?
Yeah, that's going to be separate. The Aquagenics contracts for the pond maintenance have already.
No, remember the pool monitor.
This is the amenity services contract.
Right. Well, the pool monitor pool monitor will work at the pool once the contract's been approved on a set date that was to be determined by the board.
Yeah, I understand that, but is someone going to be out there cleaning the pool weekly? Since they didn't want to take on that contract now, when we take it over, the CDD, I mean, who's going to go by there and throw the chlorine in it? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
who's going to go in there and brush it and clean the deck once a week?
Can you guys hear me? This is Milton.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been trying to talk for the last 10 minutes and I've been muted, I guess. Regarding this bill of sale for this amenity, has anybody specifically from the CDD inspected it and made sure it's okay before the CDD takes it over?
The district engineer, Milton, will have to go out there. Tanya will go out there and inspect it.
Okay. Just want to confirm before we take something over that it's been done correctly and, it's amicable.
Well, that's the process I was attempting to outline a few moments ago to the board before the district actually accepts it.
That's not slowing down or stopping the actual opening of the amenity though, correct?
Well, it does to some extent because the district's not going to take over and manage the amenity until it's been fully completed and delivered to the district, and the engineer has declared that the completion, all the requirements for completion have been met. We expect that to happen very close in time with the issuance of the CO, because Chip, among other things, is making best efforts to coordinate all of those events.
And for Chip to get the CO, he needs this bill of sale executed, correct?
Right. We need the permit or the certificate of occupancy to be issued by the county, just to be clear on what I'm referring to. Yes, we need the delivery of the bill of sale and the delivery of the deed, and we need Tanya to issue a certificate of completion that the amenity's been built in accordance with plans and specifications, and the district's is in a position to receive the property as anticipated.
Okay. Getting back to Bob's question, when we take over responsibility of this thing, do we have anybody that's cleaning the pool? Not monitoring, not taking out garbage, cleaning the pool. Do we have a pool service?
Not yet, Mr. Blakely. That's what I was attempting to explain. I did talk with Chip. We do have a company called Sun Pools who actually currently does your pool service and maintenance at Zephyr Ridge. I'll be looking to share that with the board at that time that the amenity is delivered, and we're going to be caring and taking care of the pool. I will be providing you with a contract to review, so you can make a decision on whether you'd like to accept that contract and agreement moving forward for your pool service.
When do we anticipate that this facility is going to get its CO?
I would defer back to Tracy.
I don't have an answer on that. I need to ask Chip for a more definitive date. I just know that he's still working through that process, and Tanya is already in the loop. But I don't recall that he mentioned any dates.
John Blakely, this is Greg Cox. I think what everybody's trying to ask is, you have a current pool contractor, I think, that's under the control of the developer, correct? That's maintaining the pool. And you need a pool contract put in place for the district. Once the district assumes responsibility for the pool, then you need the same pool contractor or a different pool contractor needs to come in and start maintaining the pool. Is that what you're asking?
Well, I'm asking if we've got anybody, but I think what Bob's referring to is it's a pool contractor that we're using in another district. In other words, it's not a current one that the developer is, because the pool's not open. So.
Right.
Okay, so you need a contract in place for pool service is what you're looking for.
Correct. I think what Bob was getting at is that we just don't want a gap of, the facility gets its CO and then we're running around trying to pull together a pool contract, which we could have agreed to in advance, the same way we just approved the amenity services agreement. We could approve the thing in terms and then give them a start date, but we don't have anything in front of us.
You don't, and you need to have that correct as soon as possible.
Now, we don't want to
hopefully
take this thing on. It just goes to pieces. It could go to pieces awful quick,
Well, and again, in my discussions with Chip on the side, what he explained is he has a vendor, a current pool contractor caring for the pool, and he intends to keep that contractor until this is actually turned over and we actually have our own pool service company. So what I was saying earlier, Mr. Blakely, is I do have a company in mind, as well as other board members that Zephyr Ridge currently uses, and this vendor I use at other districts. I have no problem with getting an agreement together for that, but I need to know, or I guess we all need to know the exact day, date, and time that the turnover is going to take place, so that we can get the contract in front of you and agreed upon, and so there is no lapse service.
But we'll know that in advance of the event.
Correct.
Just don't have a date for you at the moment.
Okay.
So if that's the case, it sounds like we're covered. And then at the next meeting, can we have that proposal in front of us for us to review and execute?
Absolutely, Mr. Grande. I will definitely get the pool proposals for you all to review.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Tracy, is there a motion in order here at this time, or are we just having a discussion about the bill of sale and the?
Yes, I'd like to ask the board to accept, and we'll bring this back for ratification afterwards, but I'd like to ask the board to accept the form of the bill of sale and the special warranty deed for delivery to the district and recording. That's conveyance. In other words, authorize the conveyance of the amenity improvements and property to the district based on these documents in substantial form and subject to the receipt of the certificate of completion from the district's engineer.
So moved.
So moved by Mr. Blakely.
Second.
Seconded by, I'm sorry?
Milton.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. So we just made a motion and approved the bill of sale. I guess at this time I would request a motion to accept the specially warranty deed from the developer to the Chapel Creek CDD.
I'll make that motion.
Bob?
Second, John Blakely.
John. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion carries. There, I'd like to turn your attention to tab 6. Tab 6 is the consideration of meeting minutes of the Board of Supervisors held on July 7, 2020. Board members, this is your opportunity to make any changes to the July 7, 2020 minutes. I'd like to hear if you have any changes.
Move to accept.
Hearing none, moving to accept. We have a motion from John Blakely. Second. Second by Bob. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, we turn our attention to tab 7. This is the consideration of operation and maintenance expenditures for June 2020. Your June total expenditures was $27,535.87. These invoices have been paid. So at this time, if there's no questions, I would request a motion to ratify the payment of the invoices for June 2020 O&M expenditures report.
I'll make the motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Garrett. Second.
Second, Milton.
Second, Milton. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? The motion carries. That leads us into staff reports and district council. Tracy?
I don't have anything further except that I would like to ask when this meeting is over, don't terminate this connection until I can talk with you and Greg for a few minutes. Not a different matter.
Okay. We'll have to talk offline because we're moving from this into the Zephyr Ridge.
Well, I need to talk to you before the Zephyr Ridge meeting starts.
We'll contact you as soon as we end this call.
All right.
Okay. All right. So nothing further from Tracy. At this time, District Engineer Tanya Stewart is not present, so there's no report, which takes us to the District Manager report. And at this time, I just want to remind board members that our next scheduled meeting is Tuesday, September 1 at 11 a.m. All I have. And then I would, at this time, I'd like to ask if there's any supervisors' requests for me or any district staff. Hearing none, then I would request a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Bob. Second?
Second, Milton.
Second, Milton. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Meeting is adjourned. Time is approximately 11:47.
All right, and then before you terminate this, was the Zephyr Ridge meeting supposed to be on this same connection?
It's the same meeting ID. Yes, sir.
It is the same meeting ID?
Yes.
And call-in information?
Same ID as you used for this meeting, you would use for that one.
Yes.
The reason I'm asking that is I'm on the district's website and I don't see any call-in information for this meeting unless I'm missing something or it's hidden somewhere. It doesn't appear to me that there's call-in information on the agenda for anybody to be able to connect to the meeting. That's what my concern is. Would you guys take a look at this?
You saying Chapel Creek?
No, I'm talking about Zephyr Ridge.
Yeah, there is.
Well, I'm looking at it. What page is it on?
It's on the front page. You click on the link. It says board meetings. And then
go ahead.
And then if you
it is not listed.
The telephone number and the meeting ID right there.
What page is it on?
The front page, the home page.
It's not on the front page on the website I'm on.
Go to Zephyr Ridge. It says board meeting.
Yes.
And then it has
Oh, it's not on the agenda itself.
it's on the front page of the website where it says, very first page, it says CDD board meeting, August 2020, and it gives a telephonic number to call in on it.
Okay, my apology. I think it would be a good practice to get that on the agenda itself in the future.
Are you guys not going to do audience comments?
No, we haven't started a meeting yet. I was questioning where the access information was.
Yeah.
So what was the meeting that you just had?
That was the Chapel Creek.
Yes.
That was Chapel Creek. Holy cow, you have a lot of Zephyr Ridge. So someone gave Zephyr Ridge, because we've been trying to get on for a while, someone gave the Zephyr Ridge community this. Because that meeting was supposed to start at 11:30.
I understand that, sir. It's the same meeting information. This meeting has moved beyond